Phase 4 of the bull in every single cycle has been the most explosive, the most bullish, the most obnoxious price action Bitcoin has had to the upside every single cycle. That's when your favorite altcoins absolutely explode. That's when the market goes parabolic. That's when the news for the crypto space reaches an absolute worldwide phenomenon, headlines around the world. Simply put, phase 4 of the bull is legendary. That's where all the gains are made. Phase 4 happens precisely when we break this red arrow. Do you see in 2013, this red line right here, as soon as we break the red line, that's the most explosive part, the most bullish part of every single cycle. 2017 was no different. As soon as we broke this red line, it exploded with price action. That's where all the gains were made. 2021 was no different. As soon as we broke this red line, huge explosion. By the way, this red line and these other lines are the Fibonacci retracement. You can't bet against math. So here we are in our current cycle, getting absolutely destroyed by this red line. We've been getting resistance month after month after month after month, leading people to believe, is there ever going to be a phase 4 in this cycle? Is phase 4 still on the table? Is it possible? And more importantly, is phase 4 about to happen? Hi, I'm Steve. I quit my job over 13 years ago, been traveling the world since, thanks to my trading and investing skills. Join me for sponsorship-free TA with genuine value that actually works. Subscribe. By the way, at the end of the video, I'm going to give some life-changing advice that can really set you on a brand new path. Let's dig into it. Here we are on the Bitcoin US dollar index, and we are on the monthly chart. What we have in front of us is 14 years of price action and distinct cycles of 2013, 2017, 2021, and our potential market top heading into 2024, 2025. That, my friends, is in a nutshell what we're covering today. If you want to draw the chart, such like I did, it's very, very easy. You go over to your drawing tools, you click on fib retracement. You go from the prior swing high to the swing low, and you have these settings on. I am on a log scale. So when you scroll down to the bottom, you will click fibs based on log scale, and then you will have the following boxes clicked, which are shown right here. Once you have that, you'll set up the chart exactly like this, and every single cycle for Bitcoin has been exactly the same. As soon as we break one level of this fib retracement, we rally directly to the next level, and as soon as we break that, we rally to directly the next level. And sometimes there's not a next level. Like in 2021, we never rallied above the blue line, which the blue line is 1.618. This is a historic level that happened to be our double top. It also happens to be the level we're at right now with resistance, because our red line is representative of the prior all-time high, or a 1. So what we see right here is I highlighted on the charts where we are. You can see present day, we're at this red arrow, and I highlighted the red arrow in each cycle so you can clearly see where were we back then and what happened to push us through and what happened after we pushed through. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. Now, let's do a quick history lesson of how we got up to this red line, because it happens exactly the same in every single cycle. The problem is the herd is always chanting way louder than everyone else that this time is different. They plant it in everyone's ears nonstop. They have no idea what they're talking about. Every single time, Bitcoin is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. Here, we have highlighted the bottom of our market in a red square. Red square here, red in 2017, 2021, and 2025. Every single time we have a red square, it happens below the 0.38 of the cycle. Now, the 0.38 is this green line, by the way. And then we have phase 1, which is this yellow box. The yellow box builds market structure directly on top of the red box. It's like stacking one Lego on top of the next. That one Lego we put on is essentially building market structure directly on top of what used to be our resistance. That's what phase one does. Phase one in 2017, no different. This box right here built directly on top of the red box, just like a Lego. 2021, no different. This yellow box right here was built directly on top of the red box. It's market structure. What happens is at the bottom of our markets, it's very unhealthy. And the only way to go from a bear market to a bull market is healthy market structure. It's quite literally the only thing Bitcoin needs to do. So that's what it does with this yellow box. It proves that the market structure is healthy and it needs to be like a Lego. 2024, 2025, our cycle that we're in now, no different. You can see the red box here. You can see our yellow box. If you picked up this yellow box, it would place directly on top. It would fit like a glove. That's beautiful market structure. Now, what happens once we get past that yellow box is every single cycle, we rally directly to the blue line right after we get out of the yellow box. Every single cycle is exactly the same. The blue line is the 0.78. 2017, no different. We got out of the yellow box, we rallied to the blue. 2021, still the same, even though the herd is always chanting. This time is different. We have ICOs, we have ETFs, we have JPEGs, we have all of these things that are supposedly going to change the world, and it never does. Because men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. We have right here. We get out of this yellow box, we rally to the blue box, and the same in our current cycle. We got out of the yellow box, we rally to the blue box. It's more of the same. What happens after the blue? We get above the blue, we rally to the red. Every single time. We get above the blue, rally to the red. Above the blue, rally to the red. And above the blue, rally to the red. Every single cycle, the next level, we rally to the red. That's where we are now. But 2013 was only 1 month at the red. We plowed through. 2017 had multiple months at the red, which every other so far has more months at the red. So 2017, in our case, is more closely significant to what we have currently, whereas 2013 was closer to 21, where we just had 1 month at the red, and then we're in phase 4, where that's where all the magic happens. So what are we thinking about phase 4? Is it possible? Is it about to happen? Can we look for clues from all of these candles that we have between our blue and between our red? And the answer is yes. There's a lot of clues. You can see what we have in front of us is we rallied to the red, and our first 2 months tells this story. We were very bullish the first 2 months heading into the red. We could not hold the red as support, but we peeked our head through just to look to see what's on the other side. We were very bullish at that time. And then the following 2 months showed signs of bearishness, where we didn't peek our head through anymore. It was just a wick here and a wick here. And you never want to see wicks on the upside, because that tells you momentum is heading down. And that's what we had. So it started out relatively bullish. We tried to hold on. We were losing our grip, and then we fell. And we fell all the way back down to our market structure. What's our market structure? What used to be our resistance. Our resistance here is the blue line, the 0.78. So we lost our grip. We fell. We plummeted all the way back down to our support. This is good news. This is quite literally market structure 101. I like to see it. Not only did we slip, we lost our grip, we fell hard, and we fell far, we ended up having this huge wick at the bottom here, which represents buying. That means we fell, we lost our grip, we plummeted, we fell to this blue line, and it was bought up. It wasn't bought up lightly. This was bought up heavy. This was bought up big. In other words, this area was protected by deep pockets. Always watch what people with deep pockets are doing. The problem is everyone pays attention to the herd because they have the loudest voice. The herd does not have deep pockets. The herd just continuously hands their money over to people with deep pockets. And then, unfortunately, the herd just replenishes itself with more people who have no idea what they're doing, and they just keep handing money over to the people who know what they're doing. It's a really simple game, right? I can't describe it any other way. I'm sorry if that was too honest for you, but that's the fact. And that's how financial markets have worked for the history of mankind. That's unfortunately how they will work for the next couple hundred years as well. It's just human psychology 101. Give money to somebody who's greedy and impatient, and they will give their money to somebody who is patient. It's as simple as that. So what you have in our hands here is this was bought up by smart money, people who understand the charts, probably people who watch my videos, because we know that when we have resistance at one level, we're going to fall directly to the other level. It's not rocket science. That's where our market structure was. That was our resistance. As soon as you break resistance, it becomes support. It's a very simple game. Now, we fell to support with a huge wick. That's a good sign. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. The problem is above our heads, we still have this ridiculous red line that's been our nemesis. Not for a short time. That same level was actually our double top. That same level that we are struggling with, that we started out bullish, then we started losing our grip, then we fell. That same level was our double top years ago. That's not a good sign, and there's no way around it. In other words, the same area that we had huge trouble with years ago is the same area we're having huge trouble with again. This is not by accident. So that's the facts that we have on our hands. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. Now, earlier in the video, I said I wanted to give you some life-changing advice. Did you know that 25% of millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck? This is a bona fide fact. And it goes to show you that your salary, how much you make, your hourly wage, your monthly wage, your weekly, it doesn't matter, your yearly rate, however you break it down, that number is completely irrelevant if you want financial freedom. You can make a little amount of money per year or a ton of money per year, and that does not impact your chance at financial freedom. However, what really impacts your chance at financial freedom is how well you live below your means. That's it. This is not talked about, but what happens is most people are trying to impress people they don't even know or care about. So they'll buy a car that's way too expensive so that their coworkers think they're cool, or their neighbors see their car in the parking lot and they think they're cool, or they just want this admiration from others, so they overconsume. They'll buy a house that's out of their price range. They'll go to restaurants that are a little above their price range. And they'll just live their whole life trying to live this fantasy life, but they don't have the money for it. Here's the simple way to look at it. And this goes true across the board, no matter the color of your skin, no matter what country you live in, no matter if you're old or young, poor or rich. I want you to look at your life right now and ask yourself, am I living below my means right now? Or am I living above my means right now? How do you know? Well, how much money do you have to your name right now? What's your net worth, right? That's how to know, right? What I want you to look at is, if you're struggling now and you're in this job and you're like, I should be making more and I can't find my way out and I can't do this, but you're not building up your wealth, then you're not living below your means. And I'll give you a little secret tip that, again, it's true no matter where you live, the color of your skin, the language you speak, however you're living right now will be the exact same when you're quote unquote rich, making a lot of money. In other words, if you are struggling right now and it feels like paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, if you snap your fingers and suddenly you're getting $250,000 a year or $500,000 a year, you will still be broke, because you're going to have the same habits you have now. I know you don't want to hear this, but hopefully this is a wake-up call. This is real talk. One of my biggest secret weapons is I have always lived ridiculously below my means. So what happened now in my life when I'm making a lot more money? Am I trying to impress a whole bunch of people that I don't like? Hell no. I never did that before when I didn't have money, and I'm definitely not doing it now. So however you lived before in your life is the same way you're going to live when you suddenly make it and get rich and start making a lot of money. You will still, that's why 25% of millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck. They got that status, that millionaire status. Yes, their net worth is $1 million, but it's not growing. It's stagnant because their lifestyle still has those same really bad habits. They're just making more money now, so they're spending a lot to try to fit in. If you are not okay with living uncomfortably for a couple years while you build your wealth, you're never going to be wealthy. I need to lay the facts on you. The true meaning to becoming financially free, you have to master the skill of living below your means. Let me tell you a story. I started making my own money at 7. And when I was 7, 8, 9 years old, I would be making money. Everyone else would just get free money from their parents. I don't know what kind of a rip-off job that is, but I was literally working for my money, and they would just get money handed to them for being a human. And they would be like, oh, Steve, you want to go buy a pack of gum? Do you want to buy a soda? Do you want to buy this? You want to go here? Every single time I said no. They thought I had no money, which is great. I didn't want to show off to them. And then fast forward, we're in high school. Everyone's trying to buy a car to impress the girls, and everyone's trying to do all this to impress girls, and they're going out and they're doing this and they're buying this. And I was stacking money since I was 7. So fast forward to a teenager, I had a good bit of money. I started investing in the stock market at 15, 16, and I didn't tell anybody this because it was pretty lame to invest in the stock market at that age. Nobody my age even knew what it was back in the year 1999, 98, 2000. But there I was in high school. I never bought a car because why would I need to? I could talk to girls and impress them just the same with who I really am, not trying to pretend to be anybody else. But nobody ever knew that I had money in the bank because I lived so poor. I was so good at living below my means. Everyone just thought, oh my God, Steve's broke and poor, which is great. That's what they thought pretty much my whole life, which is phenomenal. That's what you want to do. You want to live so far below your means. And if you can be happy with that life, you're going to be so happy when you start making a lot more money because you'll still have all those discipline habits. And then it will just be like, it's a cheat code. It's really like a cheat code. It's the biggest cheat code you can have outside of believing in yourself. Living below your means, you have to master that skill or you'll never, ever be financially free. Mark my words. It's why people who win the lottery are broke soon after. It's why professional athletes, the high majority of them, go broke after a certain amount of time. They have these bad habits from growing up that they still have when they're older. You can't just break bad habits and suddenly you're like, I'm good with money. If you weren't good with money when you're younger, you're not just going to suddenly be good at money. That's not how the game works. So I need you to wake up. I need you to realize this, and I need you to make ridiculous changes in your life now. For example, you know the car you're driving, you could drive a cheaper car or one that is a few years older than you currently have. And you know the reason you got that car is to impress people you don't even like or your friends and family. You know that. Deep down, you know that. You won't tell people that, but you know. Same with your house. It's the same where you go out to eat. You want to go into work and you want to be like, oh, I ate at this restaurant, and you want to seem fancy, and it's all a facade. And if you can get rid of that, then you can actually achieve financial freedom. But most humans, they can't get rid of that. I need you to understand this fact. This is real talk. This is how the world really is. No sugarcoating here. So leave a comment down below. I want to hear where you are in your journey. And it's perfectly fine to say, you know what? I'm paycheck to paycheck. I got to wake up and smell the coffee. Financial freedom has nothing to do with what your salary is. Nothing at all. It has everything to do with discipline and habits, living below your means. That's real talk. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. How likely is it that we're about to move into phase 4? And is it possible that there is no phase 4 this cycle? Let's address those two questions. First things first, how likely is it we're about to move into phase 4? Well, the one piece of good news we have on our hands is this huge wick here. We do have momentum to the upside, and we did protect our market structure in a heavy way. These are all good things. So we do have momentum on our side. We need to see how we interact with this. Now, is it possible we don't have a phase 4 in this cycle? Let's look at our other cycles. Did we have a phase 4 in 2013? Yes. 2017? Yes. 2021? Yes. So in other words, 100% of the cycles so far have had a phase 4. How likely is it that we don't have one this time? Well, the storyline would really be drawn into the fact that our prior all-time high is still giving us trouble. We never got above the prior all-time high here years ago, and we came up to this same area and we're struggling again. That's not a good sign. So is it on the table that it's possible that we don't have a phase 4? It's definitely on the table. If we had our all-time high way below here and we already exploded past our prior all-time high by more than 30, 40, 50, 70%, and we're just battling with a random arbitrary number here, I would say, yeah, it's pretty highly likely we're going to move into phase 4. But given the fact that we're struggling with the same levels that we saw before, and on top of all of that, we have a gravestone doji on a 2-month. And on top of all of that, I showed you the 5.3 theory years ago, which said that we wouldn't reach 100K this cycle. And everyone laughed at me back then. And they're like, 100K, we're going to reach it in the first month of the bull. And here we are a couple of years into the bull, and we're struggling with the same area that the 5.3 theory said years ago that we would struggle with. That is a concern that is quite legitimate, given the fact that the 5.3 theory is quite literally based on math, and we can't argue math. So that, my friends, is a major point of concern. If we didn't have a 2-month gravestone doji and we weren't battling our previous all-time high and struggling, then yeah, it would be different. But unfortunately, if the 5.3 theory projected we would reach over 100K, I would be saying, yeah, it's pretty likely we're going to be entering phase 4. But given the facts, it's definitely on the table that we won't have a phase 4. Now, how likely no phase 4? We've got to delve into some more charts and really uncover some more facts. But things are heating up, and I will keep you up to date on phase 4. Hit that subscribe button. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to 500,000, let's go.